Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a topic that's absolutely vital for any family living in a multi-story building, keeping our kids safe in and around elevators. We're going to break down some key insights from the experts at Novin Puya Elevator to make sure every elevator trip is a safe one. So let's just jump right to the most important question. For an adult, an elevator is just a utility, right? It gets us from point A to point B. But for a child, with all the lights, the buttons, the movement, it can honestly look like a giant ride at an amusement park. Understanding this huge difference in perspective is really the first step to keeping them safe. All right, here's our game plan for this analysis. First, we'll look at why this education is so critical in the first place, and then we'll uncover some of those hidden dangers. After that, we'll get into practical ways to teach our kids, talk about the vital role we play as adults, and finally, wrap it all up with the number one rule, making safety the highest priority. Okay, Section 1, Children and Elevators. In our modern world, elevators are just a part of life for so many kids, and what that means is teaching them how to be safe around them isn't just a nice idea, it's an absolute necessity. You know, starting this education early has three huge benefits. First, it teaches a child to respect the elevator as a machine, not a plaything. Second, it builds their confidence so they can use it responsibly down the road. And this is a big one. It prepares them to react calmly in an emergency, like knowing to use the help button if they ever need to. Moving on to Section 2, the hidden dangers. To prevent accidents, you first have to understand the risks. So, let's break them down. The most common and immediate danger is right here, the doors. A child's small hands, their feet, or even just a piece of loose clothing can easily get caught as the doors are closing. This is a risk that really requires constant awareness every single time you get on. Next up, the button panel. Let's be honest, it looks like a fun toy, but randomly pressing all the buttons can cause sudden stops, mess with the elevator system, and create a really uncomfortable or even scary situation for everyone inside. We also have to think about the simple physics inside the cabin. A sudden start or stop can easily make a child who's still developing their balance fall over and get hurt. This is especially true if they're playing around or jumping inside. And here's the most severe risk, though. Thankfully, it's also the most rare. If an elevator door malfunctions and opens onto an empty shaft, the danger is catastrophic. This is exactly why we have to teach kids to never ever lean on or push against elevator doors, especially if something looks wrong. Okay, so we've identified the problems. Now for the solutions. In Section 3, we're going to look at practical ways to empower our kids without making them anxious or afraid. This quote really gets to the heart of it. The goal is to make our kids aware and confident, not fearful. We're trying to build respect for the machine, not a phobia of it. So how do we teach this? Well, our source recommends a 4-step approach. Start with simple rules like we don't play with the doors. Then practice through role-playing. What would you do if you got stuck? For younger kids, stories and pictures work wonders. And finally, the non-negotiable golden rule. Young children are always in the elevator with an adult. Period. And that leads us to Section 4, the role of adults. Because at the end of the day, all the rules in the world can't replace the single most important safety feature, a dedicated, attentive adult. Your supervision is the master key. This slide shows the difference perfectly between just being present and actively supervising. On the left, you see insufficient supervision, distracted, assuming the kid is fine. On the right, you see active supervision, holding their hand, reinforcing the rules, being alert. The difference in safety is night and day. So, our actions as adults matter most. This means always accompanying young children, teaching them to press only their destination floor button, and, this one is so important, making sure they always wait for the elevator to come to a complete stop before they try to get in or out. And that brings us to our final section, safety first. Let's wrap everything up for the most important takeaway from this whole analysis. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this one powerful idea. When it comes to our kids in elevators, safety isn't just a priority, it is the priority. The right education and active supervision can make using an elevator completely safe, allowing us to enjoy its convenience without the risk. So I'll leave you with this. With these insights in mind, what's your next step? Are you ready to have that calm, clear, and empowering conversation with your child about elevator safety? Thanks for watching.